So what's up, kiddos? We'll do a just a quick video lecture here on combining resources. This is really the second part of 5.2. You can go back and take a look at the video lesson on 5.5, the first one on 5.2. Will give you really most of the information. So when we're talking about combining resources, we want to analyze if a firm is going to combine different resources. In other words, we know how many workers to hire, but what if we're hiring workers or robots, right? How do we now determine how much of each one of those that we employ? And this part of the lesson is going to show you how to do that. There's really only one way that they ask the question about this, and we've kind of zeroed in on that, and I'm going to show that to you, but I'm going to teach you the concept, and then I'll kind of show you what to look for as far as being able to nail this question whenever you see it. Okay, so what we're talking about is, instead of just hiring people, what happens if we want to hire people and robots? Okay, so let's take a look here. The least cost rule and is basically the idea that it's kind of what it sounds like it is, right? We want to figure out which thing has the least cost, and then we're going to purchase that particular item. But if you take a look here, a robot costs $10, an employee costs $5. Well, if we just looked at that, we would know in society, well, I can purchase a person's labor for $50,000 a year, or I can pay $10 million for a robot. Well, how do we know which one of those is a smart way to go? Well, we know that because of being able to figure out the output per dollar. So how much output is that person producing per dollar that we spend on it? Okay, and it takes us back to an old concept. This chart is probably starting to look pretty familiar, where let's say that we have $35. What combination of robots and workers will maximize our output? Well, one thing we got to be able to do is we got to be able to figure out, or we got to be able to compare apples to apples here. We got to be able to say, okay, if a robot costs us $10 and they produce so much, how much are they producing per dollar? Okay, and so we're looking at the marginal product per dollar. Okay, so if we take a look here, this is basically saying that if we bought one robot and its marginal product is 30, then that means we're getting 3 units per dollar spent on the robot. Okay, and then over here on the other side, the worker, he's producing 20. His wage is $5, so we're getting 4 units per unit. I'm sorry, 4 units per dollar spent. Okay, and so if we had to take and compare those two and go, okay, which one of those is bringing us the most return, then we know that this particular one is bringing us 4 units per dollar spent. The robot is bringing us 3 units per dollar spent. Okay, and so which one are we going to hire first? Well, first one we're going to do is we're going to hire the first worker, right? And then we will have spent $5. All right, what are we going to do next? Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to purchase a robot and a worker, because they can bring us 3. All right, and so that's another $5, or a total of 10 for the workers, and another $10, or a total of 20. All right, so we got $35, I think it was, and we spent 20. Well, what are we going to purchase next? 2 and 2, right? Because he gets us 2 units per dollar, 2 units per dollar, and then that costs us another $5. We're up to 25, and this one costs us 10. We are up to $35. Okay, so our best combination is that we're going to purchase 2 robots and hire 3 workers. Okay, that's just the concept. That's the concept that we are going to hire based on per dollar spent. So here's the least cost rule. This is what I want you to pay the most attention to, because this is going to help you answer the question, and I'm going to show it to you in an FRQ, either in this unit or I'm going to show it to you when we review. But basically, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the marginal product of X over the price of X will equal the marginal product of Y over the price of Y. Okay? And then that's basically what we ended up doing when we got these two to match. Okay? And I'm going to show you that specifically in the FRQ when we're talking about least cost rule. All right? So let's take a quick look. Profit maximizing rule for combining resources. What I just told you, the marginal MRP of X over the MRC of X will equal the MRP of Y over the MRC of Y, and that will equal 1. This means that the firm is hiring where MRP equals MRC for each resource, X and Y. Okay? That's why if they equal and they equal 1, then if we graphed it, it would be for both. But it's not going to ask you that way. That's really going a little further than what you need to know, and I'm going to show you here in just a minute. All right, so let's take a quick look. So let's look at these 5 scenarios. I know that looks like mumbo jumbo, but stick with me here for a second. What should the firm do? Hire more, hire less, or stay put? Well, we're looking at the MRP of labor is 15, and the price of labor is 6. Here we got the MRP of what is our C here? We're talking about hiring. I forget what we're calling the C, but we would basically hire more, and we would stay put here. On 2, we would hire less labor because the MRP is $5 and the price is $10, so we would hire less of them because they cost us more than what they produce. Here they produce more than what they cost, so we would hire more. Here it's the same, so we would stay put. Here we would hire less. Okay? Now we should be clicking along. Here we're going to hire more. Here we're going to stay put because these things here are equal. This is capital, by the way. It just hit me. Labor and capital. 12 and 12, we're going to stay put. 50 and 40, we're going to hire more because we're getting more revenue than what it cost us. And here we're going to hire more because we're getting more revenue than what it cost us. And here we're going to hire more because it gives us more revenue than what it costs us. Now, you're not going to have to figure it that way either. Once again, that's just kind of giving you the idea that when we're talking about more than one resource, really when we're talking about one resource, we're talking about the MRP and the cost being the same is where we would hire. This is just if we're working with multiple resources. So that's kind of the quick of that. I'm going to buzz over here and show you a specific FRQ. Matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap the video up. That's just a quick run through on the least costs. I'm going to have to write the FRQ out, and I think we're going to do that in review together. Yeah, we'll talk about that probably tomorrow sometime. Anyway, look over the other video, do as good as you can on those quizzes, and we will talk a little bit more tomorrow and Wednesday. See you.